Answer.
You go first, because you've read it the most.
I mean, I actually don't know. I feel like I went back to it in loads of different kind of chunks as I went through. But as a whole, like maybe 15. Maybe. We had so much time to prepare as well. Like we had about 6 months since we were cast to when we started. Yeah, maybe that much.
Probably 16. No, like, I'm going to say six or seven. 6 or 7. Or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd read it when it came out and was a big fan of it then.
Yeah, I was the same. I'd actually read it just as the kind of pandemic started, actually. I read it. It was like my first kind of lockdown book. But I had already read Normal People and was, familiar with her and loved her.
I find the harder moments tend to be like the smaller, more insignificant moments in some ways, like the in-between bits, not the kind of more obvious kind of set piece scenes. It's the little linking bits that sometimes, for me, I don't know, take more unpicking. Yeah.
I think the characters, or even just speaking for Frances, can be so guarded and withholding. And I think, you have to have that separation of not getting frustrated, and, you can see what someone might be trying to communicate to them, but the character just can't see that, or for some reason is shutting people out or refuses to kind of let things in. And so I guess, really just separating that and playing her truth, I think, was something that I kind of constantly had to come back to a little bit. So.
Yes and no. Yeah, I think there are similarities and differences. There kind of always are. I think I am not a married 31-year-old Irish man having an affair. But there are similarities, like he is an actor, I am an actor. I can understand some of the weirdness of that job and the ups and downs of that, and also the ups and downs of mental health and things like that. But at the same time, there's a lot that's different, and that's part of the fun as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be the same. I think similarities and differences, which is kind of the loveliest part, I think, of coming to a character, in that you can kind of have that understanding or empathy, and then also get to explore thoughts and feelings or kind of situations that you don't know what it's like. Yeah, I think when you spend, like, we shot the show, I think, for about 6 months, and so I think we spent so much time with them, and I deeply love her and all of the characters. I just root for all of them. I think they're wonderful characters, and I think I've said this before, but I think when I read the book, I think I felt, there's a kind of aloofness or a real kind of detachment to Frances. So I used to kind of feel like she was a little bit more, able to handle this affair, and she was really kind of, and it was only when I kind of came to play it, I was like, oh my God, she's so out of her depth, and she's so young, and she doesn't know what she's doing, and she's getting totally consumed by this. And so kind of really stepping into her shoes was really kind of discovering her vulnerability in a much kind of deeper sense, I think.
Yeah, I think I probably had more empathy for him as it went on. I think also watching it back is a strange experience. I think because at the beginning of the series in particular, my character is so guarded in some ways and seemingly closed off. But as the audience, or as Frances, you don't know why. And so there's a frustration to that. As much as Frances is intrigued, she's also understandably frustrated. And so I felt frustrated with him at the beginning as well. And it's only as the story goes on, you realise what place he's in at the beginning and why and where that's come from, which you don't discover until later. So it's this interesting thing of until the layers are peeled back, which I knew what they were when you were filming, but when watching, you don't know at the beginning, and so there's both a kind of an interest but a frustration. But I think I empathised with him more as it went on because you find out what he's been through.
Do you know what I would have loved to have seen? There's a little bit in the book where Francis finds a video on Facebook of Nick and Melissa singing "Baby It's Cold Outside."
Yeah.
I just would have loved to have seen them do that.
Yeah, maybe in an outtake. Yeah. I just read the new Jonathan Franzen, which I liked a lot, like his books. What else have I read recently? I feel like I've keep saying the same things, but I want to read the new To Paradise, the author of Little Life. And I just read A Delicate Truth. Is that what it's called? John le Carré. Yeah. What about you?
What about me? I read the Lesser Bohemians
Oh, yeah.
by Ian McBride.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
And
amazing.
amazing.
I
My
love
favourite author.
that. Oh, yeah, amazing. Incredible book. And then I read Strange Flowers by Donal Ryan as well, which I really, really liked. I really like him.
I think it's massively important, yeah. I think the music that's composed for it is really, really beautiful and effective and affecting, and it makes a big, big difference to score for something and the choice of songs that are picked. So I think they did a really beautiful job on
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're publishing a new edition of the book for our members. So I've just bought one for you.
Oh, wow.
wow.
Which,
Thank you.
It's not published for another week or so, but
Amazing. I thought
These
that
are
was
incredible.
that's what our sort of members edition. So.
Oh
Thank
my
you very
God.
much.